What's up, y'all? Hope you're all good and in great spirits. Today, I want to talk about dreams. It's early in the morning. I couldn't sleep after having the best dream ever and thought I would just do a brain dump on dreams. So, first, what was this great dream I had? I dreamt I was traveling all over the world, and every time I turned around, I saw something that would make me say, "Oh my God, is that the George Washington Bridge?" And then I would run up this hill to take a selfie with it. And then I'd turn around and I'd be like, "Oh my God, is that a Buddhist temple?" Like things that aren't even in the same places. But I was in really good company that changed depending on where I was at. And it was just beautiful. I mean, it was like when you travel, the best highlights one after another. And I didn't make it to the beach. I love the beach, but somehow it was just looking at architecture in magnificent ancient cities that are still in existence and have beautiful modern architecture too. So it was an awesome dream. And then I woke up and I thought, well, let me talk about dreams today. I will start with I subscribe to this cliche, colloquialism, what have you. You're only as big as your dreams. And what that means to me is that if I dreamt of writing a book, that's a good accomplishment. But if I dreamt of becoming a Nobel laureate, which is receiving the highest acclaim for the quality of your writing, then I'm probably going to write a whole bunch of books trying to get there. And so if you aim really, really high and miss, you still land in a pretty good place. And if you reach your dreams and your dream was just to write a book, then maybe you never tap into that Nobel laureate that you could be. And so dream big. Dream as big as you can. And because if you don't, how are you going to get there? The next one is I'll share a dream that I would have and what it meant after I researched it. So, if I was going through a lot of like emotional turmoil, even a breakup, that's just hard. A death it is really hard. And a long time ago, what would happen is, in these emotional states, I could become unpredictable. And, I could even get in trouble from that unpredictability. And so I would have these dreams where when I was going through something difficult, it could just be depression even. Um, I would be crossing a bridge and it's storming such that like the railings on the bridge got washed off, but the water's at the bridge level. So, um, I know that if I go off to the side, it was a wrap for me. That the waters would take me away, and I would drown. And it was just so scary to cross the bridge. And there was always an emergency on the other side that, for like, I didn't have a choice. I had to cross that bridge. And when I Googled it and researched it, what I learned was that the waters represented my emotions, which were like at high tide. Like I was really emotional, and that me having to cross it meant I had to like navigate my emotions carefully so I wouldn't get carried away by them and get in trouble or um, you know anything could happen, right? If you can't control your emotions or understand them and navigate them. So that's what I learned from that. And I might still get that dream sometimes, but a little part of me kind of knows what's going on now when I have that dream, even while I'm dreaming. Which brings me to the third, maybe the final one, unless I think of something else about dreams. But long time ago, before cell phones, maybe even before the internet, I would go, or at least before the internet for me, I would still go to the library and I would pull out books that were usually about nature, psychology, or true crime. Hobbies that I had, and every now and then I would get something different. I remember getting one on Tai Chi, and then doing the exercises, which were like 45 minutes in themselves just to get ready to do it. And then I would do the Tai Chi, and I could really visualize the Earth's energy and how I was channeling it. So I do believe in a lot of Eastern philosophy and spirituality and 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 appreciating that there's things that maybe I don't see and ain't aware of but are there. And so on that vein, one day I got this book on how to teleport. Hopefully I don't lose credibility here. But this is a true story. And so I brought the book home and I started reading it. And it starts out talking about how this could be seen as, uh, the occult, and why it was painted that way because the forces that be wanted to keep you away from your true self because then you wouldn't need them. That kind of appealed to me because I always kind of had a little bit of issue with authority. And then it talked about the pineal gland and how that is like your third eye, and it allows you to see things that you can't see unless you trained your third eye. And then it talked about the conspiracy again and the symbolism of the pineal gland throughout the halls of power across the world. And Mexico stands out, for obvious reasons. They were talking about what is the Mexican White House, Los Pinos, which is the pines, and that in the inner office they have this pine cone that is shaped just like the pineal gland, and so that's part of the conspiracy, kind of like on that whole Illuminati type stuff, right? And and that those folks hold us back by not allowing us to develop our pineal gland, and some of that is through like chemicals they put in water, etc. I kept reading, and then I got to exercises that I could do to develop my pineal gland and eventually teleport. And so I started doing these exercises. And what they amounted to were when you woke up, you tried to remember your dream. You would write it down. And anytime you had a dream, you would make it a point to write it down and remember as much of it as you can. And in doing this, you would eventually learn to remember more and more and more of your dream. We wake up, we go about our day, we don't think about it. But if you make it a point to remember what you dreamt, you take some time for yourself, you don't just jump up and go. And I heard that's like a recommended thing of like super successful people is to take some time for themselves before they go start their day. And so maybe that was part of it, right? And and so I would do that. I would wake up and then I would try to recall my dream, and I was very disciplined about it, such that I would recall most of my dreams and what happened. And what that was supposed to do was then allow you're working backwards from a conscious state, it digging into your subconscious. And eventually you would come to realize you would be conscious of your subconscious state when you're dreaming. And that happened to me. So, in addition to the dream about water, I would have dreams of persecution. Either evil spirits were after me, or just, even homies that were shady because, they were drugged out, family that was maybe on that same trip. And so I would have these dreams of persecution, and I I don't know where I saw it, if it was in a movie or I read it, but it said if you stand up to the demon in your dreams, you're good after that. You won't have them no more. And one time I was running from this like big ass demon that was chasing me, and I thought, hey man, this is just a dream. Like, you're dreaming. And then I remember that if I stood up to him, I would be good. So I turned around and I was like, commanded him. And he left. And then I was like, man, I was tripping that I realized I was dreaming. And I said, let me see if I could fly. And I jumped up and I flew around, did some loops. And I was like, fuck, this is like the most amazing thing ever. And then I had a thought on some Freddy Krueger shit. And I woke up. As soon as I had that bad thought, I woke up. And then, I might have had a couple more dreams where I didn't realize it. And then I had another one where I was like, you're dreaming. And so I was conscious of being subconscious. And, I had fun. I got this good food. I went and petted exotic animals, flew around a little bit, saw a bunch of nature stuff. And then I thought, let me go get this mofo. And I woke up. And so every time I had a bad thought of trying to go somewhere to fuck with someone's dreams, I would wake up, and I never teleported. I did share this with, my mom, and she kind of concurred with the beginning of the book, which was that, hey, man, this is kind of messing with the occult. And if, let's say, by chance, there is something that's teleporting and you're able to go out there, well, now you're in the spirit realm where they can come get you easily. And so that kind of like spooked me a little bit, and then that, it just withered on the vine. I didn't pursue it. I didn't keep trying to teleport. But I was able to control my dreams. I was able to know that I was dreaming. I was conscious of that. And as long as I had like good thoughts, like, man, those were pretty good dreams too. Like flying around. I was like, man, I want some food. Let me go ride the zebra and pet these tigers. And like, just omnipotent, you could do anything. And so, yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. And again, it was just as easy as writing your dreams down every day so that you remembered them. And there was some dietary stuff too. Things the book said would harden and calcify your pineal gland so that it's not like it would be like putting on some opaque glasses that doesn't let you see clearly. I got my old ones on too. And so anyways, I hope I didn't lose credibility with that, because I know it sounds far-fetched, but it is a true story that something I really did. And then finally on dreams, I guess, is, Stevie Nicks sings beautifully on the Fleetwood Mac song Dreams. So dream big. Some dreams do have meaning that help you understand what's going on with you. There are things you can do to control your dreams. Stevie Nicks sings beautifully in dreams. And I had an awesome dream about just traveling and like just excitement at seeing new things from one moment to the next. That's what inspired this video. And I did get a new phone, because I do recognize that some of my videos are like, they seem blurry to me when I watch them on the TV. So hopefully this new phone fixes that, and the videos are easier to watch. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, a productive weekend, and that you enjoy the time, that you make it count. Much love.